is Kay Roberts, and I'm going to do a speech about to place a patient on a backboard or not. As EMTs, we often work in situations that require a patient to be immobilized. And what that means is on a backboard, strapped down, their head is in a C-collar. This is a C-collar, and behind me is a backboard. As you can see, very hard. Sometimes on car wrecks, with a significant mechanism of injuries, we may need to backboard a patient. A lot of times when we get on scene, they've already moved around. And in my opinion, I feel like placing them on a backboard after they've moved around probably doesn't do them any great service. I do believe that if there is a major car accident where there's a death involved, or there's a significant injury, or falls from a height twice the height of their size, or diving or water accidents. A lot of times in diving accidents, they can hit the bottom and break their neck. And in water accidents, sometimes you can't tell the mechanism of injury until you get them to land. It has been a standard policy for many years, and now maybe it's time for a change. First, let me tell you and give you a little bit of information about a long spine board. Spine boards have been around since at least 1970. A lot has changed in the medical field since then. Cars are made to go faster, causing a higher mechanism of injury. And for that, you would think they would probably need the backboard, now more than ever. But I tend to disagree. The backboards are typically hard, made of plastic, and straight. This is just your basic spine boards, which are the most used type of spine boards. Basically, it's a hard surface that you are going to place an already injured patient on. We also place a C-collar on a patient. This goes around their neck to straighten their neck, which pulls their neck up in line, and it's very uncomfortable. I know this because I've worn one. It only adjusts to 3 levels, and there are more than 3 types of neck in the world. Everyone is different, and they fit a patient differently. Then the patient is strapped down with what we call spider straps and velcroed down. And the ideal for that is to be able to keep them flat on a surface without them being able to move. Most of the time, in the situation they're in, you're either down in a ravine or on something uneven where you can't exactly get them strapped down. At least not to where they're laying perfectly flat, to where their spine would not shift. And that's basically what the spine board does, is to keep your spine in line, to keep there being further injury to your spine. I believe that laying on a hard surface for a long period of time could injure your spine. The average patient will stay on a backboard with a C-collar and the straps on for an average of an hour and a half in an ER. And that's probably being really light on it. Usually it's longer than that. They have to have a CT scan or an x-ray and cleared by the doctor before they can be removed from the spine board and the C-collar removed. That's a little background on the backboard and the C-collars. Things have changed and times have changed. For me, I believe that it should not be straight across the board, they get a backboard no matter what. It should not just be the protocol for them. And that seems to be the way that most services are. If there's car accidents, falls, certain injuries, you automatically spine board and put a C-collar on. But I believe that it should be the paramedic or the OIC on scene's choice to decide if that person would benefit from the backboard or if it's going to hurt them more. Like if you have an elderly patient and they have curvature to their back, you can't place them on a spine board and then be comfortable. You're going to cause them more pain and maybe possibly cause them an injury. That's why I believe that it should be case by case, and you should evaluate that patient and make that decision. For me, it should be about patient safety and patient comfort, and we should not want to injure our patients more. Patients that are on the hard spine board, sometimes, even if they have a spine injury, if they move, it can sever a nerve. So it's not necessarily proven that the hard spine board is the safest way, even for a spine injury. Because they're uncomfortable, they're going to try to move. They're going to wiggle around. Patients with a broke or dislocated pelvic bone, often it's too hard to get them to lay flat. A lot of times, prior to our arrival, they've already been up and moving, or somebody has moved them around, which basically takes the reason why we would put them on a backboard, is to keep everything in line. This could also cause more damage by trying to straighten them out. There is a company called Spine Board Garage that makes all kinds of different spine boards. One type is called the Hartwell Carrier 2 Spine Board Scoop Stretcher. This is one of the more expensive ones. It's around $900, and most services would not be able to afford that. But it would eliminate a lot of the pain from the straight spine board because it has curvage to it. It also is considered a scoop board, so you kind of wrap it around the patient, scoop them up, and take them. But a lot of times it's hard to strap them down and get them to where they cannot move, and that's the point of immobilization, is so your patient does not move. And all the times that I have done it or seen it done, it's rarely been done to where the patient cannot move. There has been times that it has been a proven fact that the spine board has kept a spine injury from getting worse. The question is, does the possibility outweigh the dangers or not in immobilizing your patient? I think protocols should and need to be looked at again. Things have changed since the 70s. Studies are being done at this time that may mean bigger changes in the future. Thank you for your time.